Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole and this is Let Knit Be Sew. Today is going to be another Friday Sews catch-up, which is the hashtag that was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And just a little quick word about what I'm wearing today. So I have got on a jean t-shirt, which is by Ready to Sew, in this very funky with peacocks and all sorts of tropical flowers. Cotton jersey. It's a Danish design print that I got from Lamazi. Yeah, I'm glad that now the weather's getting a bit nicer, I can sort of bring out the more summery t-shirts and the short sleeves. I have had a cardigan on just while I've been sitting working, but I thought I'd take it off just to, you know, give this an air, but I probably will put it back on after I finished filming. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. All right, in terms of what I have to catch you up on for sewing this past week, so I have one finished make and I also have some fabric shopping I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. Everything has finally arrived with me, so I'm going to share those bits with you as well. We'll start off with the finished make. And I mentioned this in my video last week, but I was sewing up a Fabric Godmother Fleur Blouse in some remnant fabric that I had got from Fabric Godmother in a recent remnant sale that I had 2 small pieces of, and yeah, I just about managed to squeeze a Fleur blouse out of it. And here is the finished blouse. So as you can see, the Fleur has got these poofy sleeves and these lovely ties, and I have made this in, it's called, I think, Strawberry Fair. This print is available in a couple of colours and on a couple of different bases. This is in the blue, and you can see, if I lean back, you can see the peplum off the top here as well. Yeah, and I've also added a little Rosy Cheeks label which says made, and then underneath, which is going to be upside down, it says by my hands. Yeah, I am super happy with this. I've made the Fleur once before in some just standard viscose fabric, so this is definitely a little bit heavier, so it's got a bit more structure to it in like the sleeves and stuff. It was really nice to sew with. The only thing that I did find is that it did fray quite a lot, and I think that's just because the weave is a lot looser, I think, because it's a viscose linen. But I think as long as you keep on top of things and you stay stitch and you finish things appropriately and one thing and another, you're okay. But yeah, I did just notice that, you know, particularly when I was like overlocking bits and pieces, that, you know, I was getting little lots of little bits. So yeah, but I'm very happy with this. Sorry, I've got to like lean back because I'm like laying down on the sofa to show you the full thing. I will obviously pop in some pictures to share with you, because yeah, it's always more difficult to see these when you're just holding them up. But yeah, I'm super happy with how this came out. It's one thing ticked off the list that I put in my spring summer sewing plans video that I can pop a link into. So yeah, feeling pretty good about having this in my wardrobe all ready for, you know, the warmer weather, which it's been a little bit mixed. It was nice earlier in the week and over the weekend, and now it was a bit wet yesterday and one thing and another. So, but you know, hopefully we're gradually getting there where there's more consistent good days and warmer temperatures, and yeah, super looking forward to wearing this. So yeah, that's Fabric Godmother Fleur in the cute little strawberry print. All right, so that's my finished make. I don't have anything else cut out. I was away over the weekend visiting my parents, so I didn't do any sewing this past weekend. So probably either tomorrow evening I will probably do a bit of cutting out. But yeah, I don't have anything cut out at the moment. But as I mentioned last week, the plan is still to try and get my Eliza trench coat from the Fabric Godmother February Dream Wardrobe box cut out and sewn up over this coming bank holiday Easter weekend. If I don't get it finished, then hopefully, I don't think I have anything on the following weekend. So if it takes me 2 weekends, never mind. Obviously it does have, you know, I'm a little bit scared about doing the welt pockets because I've never done them before. So keep me on your thoughts. But yeah, that is still my intention to get that sewn up and to also film it and share it with you guys later. So fingers crossed I'm not sitting crying and consoling myself with Easter egg chocolate because I've messed up welt pockets. Okay, I mentioned that I had done a little bit of fabric shopping, so I'm going to share that with you now. Yeah, I said that I, put this t-shirt on because I'm like getting the, my more spring summer t-shirts back out of the wardrobe. And then I was doing my sort of go through of my handmade wardrobe and seeing what was lacking, what, perhaps needed to be retired because it was a bit too well worn looking and one thing and another. I think I retired quite a few of my iris tees, which is another pattern. It's by Forget Me Not patterns that I really like with the t-shirt patterns, with the cute like little pleated detail on the sleeves. So I tend to get through jersey quite quickly. It doesn't tend to hang around too long in my stash because I really love sewing with jersey fabric. So quite often I buy it. Even if I buy a couple of pieces, I tend to like batch sew them and they end up quite quickly in my wardrobe. So I went on to Lamazi because they have so many cotton and jerseys at the moment. They pick up quite a lot of the Danish design prints and one thing and another. So I placed an order with them. I'm trying to think if these are all Danish design. I'm not 100% sure on one of them. I think two of them are. So the first one is actually a viscose jersey. And a couple of weeks ago, I think I was wearing my Tulia tee, which is a pattern by sewing by Mazine or Mazan. And that's one that's like quite oversized and slouchy. And I definitely think it needs more of I would prefer it in a drapey jersey compared to a more structured cotton jersey. So I picked up a meter of this one, which is on a kind of, there's not very much background to be fair. So some of it's like peachy and some of it's sort of like a very pale mint green. But then you've got all of these, peachy and sort of pale turquoisey green flowers in different sizes. You've got some really big ones, some little bits, some foliage. So yeah. And I thought that one was a bit more spring, summer, and so I've got a meter. And because I know that that pattern is a little bit on the long side, so I definitely want to shorten it, and I made it out of a meter of fabric before, so I think with taking a good few inches off the bottom as I'm intending to, that a meter is going to be plenty, even with perhaps I think we would call this directional print, more or less. So yeah, I'm not worried about getting it out of a meter, but yeah, that's that one, a nice drapey viscose jersey. And then this was quite a new one on the site. It's a very cute, so it's on a white background and it's these different shades of light blue. That's sort of a kind of slightly more abstract animal print type pattern. And I just thought that was cute and would make an excellent iris tee. I know, probably some people would be like, oh, it's a little bit busy for something that's got a pleat, but I don't mind. And yeah, I think, a lighter colour t-shirt with a bit of colour, this is going to go fine with jeans, go fine with my pinafore dresses and one thing and another. So I think really, really wearable, good for layering as well. Under a shirt and one thing and another. So yeah, I picked up that one as well. Again, a meter, and I know that will easily do an iris tee for me. And then the third one, I was a bit sad that I've only got a remnant piece, because I was like umming and ahhing over placing an order sooner, but didn't. And then when I got, when I decided that I was going to order some jerseys, they only had one remnant piece, and I think it's like just under 0.7 of a meter, which I think I can probably, I can squeeze a t-shirt out in some capacity, but probably would just have to be a plain like jean like this. This is reasonably long. Like I probably could you know, if I was feeling brave and not necessarily worried about revealing my tummy to everybody, when I move my arms, maybe I could cut some off the length. But I've probably got some solid colour jersey back there, like little leftover bits that I could do a bit of colour blocking, cut maybe some like neck bands and armbands out of. So yeah, but people are like, there's probably is a, I feel like this is one of those fabrics that like some people will love and some people will be like, oh my god, that's a bit wild. So you've got these like giant sort of floral, I guess I feel like they're kind of a little bit pansy like, or maybe like irises, I don't know, but they're quite big. So you've got these flower bits, but then it's upside down. Let's put them the right way up. But it's also got these budgies on, and there's that one, another guy there. There's a few different ones, and yeah. Fun fact about me is that from the age of 10 to sometime in my, well, was I 30? I don't know. It's my first pet that I owned. Like, we had a cat when I was very young, but that was my parents, and the cat was there before me or my brother were. So whilst it was our pet, didn't necessarily instigate getting that. My first pet was a budgie when I was 10. I decided that's what I wanted, and I think my parents were just grateful that I wasn't asking for a puppy. So they're like, yeah, sure, we can get a budgie, that'll be fine. And so we found someone who bred them, and yeah, used the birthday money that I had got from family to buy the cage and stuff. And yeah, and his name was Pip. Well, that's what I named him. And he was green, the usual like green and yellow that you see commonly in budgies, and we had him for 10 years. And he was into absolutely everything. He used to basically have free reign of the house, as long as like there were no doors or windows open. We just used to leave the cage door open, and he would come and go as he pleased. Yeah, getting into everything, stealing food from people, yeah, but generally a very happy and very well loved member of the family. I did have another fellow who, unfortunately, there was, I think, probably something not right with him when we got him, but we didn't really realise until he got sick, or at least got sick enough to show, because, you know, those kind of animals, they pretend they're not sick until they're really, really sick. So we actually only had him for 6 months. And then a little while later, again, just, you know, couldn't help but look again, and we ended up with Holly, who was albino, and we had him for 13 years. So if we know nothing else in my family, apparently we know how to keep birds around for quite some time. So yeah, I believe he must have been in my 30s, you know, by the time he passed. So yes, we have a long-standing history with budgies, and you don't really see them, like, you know, I feel like there's some animals that you see like in prints all the time, and you very rarely see budgie stuff. So whenever I see anything with budgies on, I'm like, I have to get it. So like the stationery company Paper Chase had a budgie range, and I was like, I have to have something from it. So I've got like a pencil case from that and one thing and another. So yeah, when I saw this, even though I feel like it is a bit nuts as well at the same time. It's very sort of like, it's definitely spring, summer. I think it's very big print, but yeah, even if I make something from it and I think I'm not sure I can wear that out of the house, it's going to be a fun like pajama top at least. So yeah, but I just couldn't help it. It's got budgies on it. Okay, and then I have one more fabric, and again, it's probably going to be like, you're either going to love it or be like, Nicole, if the camera is in a slightly different position to when it just was. I had to stop and delete some stuff out of my phone because it was telling me that I'd run out of storage space. So yeah, so yeah, I have one more fabric, and this came from, I think I heard about this place from watching a video by Sam from Sequin Girly, And yeah, I'd not heard of this place before, and yeah, I had a look. So it's Wasted Fabrics, which I think is based in the Netherlands, judging by the Dutch order confirmation email that I had through after I had ordered. But yeah, I think they mostly focus on like dead stock, and you seem to only be able to buy in like 3 meter lengths. But the price was reasonable, and they also had like a discount code that was applied when I ordered as well. So it was, you obviously pay a little bit more for the postage because it's coming from outside of the UK, which I typically don't do. But and I did try and look to see if I could see this fabric anywhere else, like within the UK, and I couldn't. So that was the only reason why I plumped for it. And hopefully you'll understand when I show you it. But equally, you might be like, I think we need to stage some kind of intervention here, Nicole. But the world would be a very boring place if we all liked the same stuff, right? So brace yourselves. Okay, so this fabric is a viscose crepe. So it's got that texture. It's not super textured by crepe standards. I definitely had some that are a lot more crinkly than this. You just got a flash of it there. It is bright pink, and it has diplodocuses on it. And I think this might be the best thing ever, because who doesn't need 3 meters of bright pink fabric with dinosaurs on it in their life? Because I know I do, and I certainly did when I saw it. So yeah, this is the fabric, and yeah, I am in love with it. It hasn't been washed yet, so yeah, need to get this and the jersey in the wash. But oh my god, look how pink it is. Yeah, so I've got 3 meters. I'm not sure how wide it is. I don't think it's quilting cotton small, but I think it's maybe slightly smaller than some other viscoses you tend to get. But yeah, I just can't help but grin because it's so much fun. So yeah, I think this is going to have to be some kind of summer dress. I'm kind of feeling another Rita shirt dress. I know that's already in my spring summer plans with some fabric godmother fabric, but oh my god, yeah, I desperately need this to be wearable like right now. But yeah, hopefully you will understand why I just could not leave this. And if not, that's okay too. I think you're not going to make everyone pleased with your fabric choices. So but yeah, this is the other fabric that I bought. It's amazing. I love it. All right, I think that's all of the crafty stuff that I have to share for this week. What else is happening? So yeah, as I said, I was away at the weekend visiting my parents, which was nice. There was lots of movies put on for us to watch, and then there's some gardens that are about 15-20 minutes away from where my parents live, that they have a membership for, and you can get like a guest in for free with their membership. So we went over there on Sunday morning and had a nice walk around looking at all of the spring flowers. They have a little bit of cherry. They planted, I can't remember how many years ago, they planted cherry blossom trees or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a green-fingered person. My parents are that. I am the person who kills houseplants. Despite trying to make them love me, I have no luck with plants. But yeah, so they planted some cherry blossoms, and there were still a few out. Obviously, I think it's a little bit late in the season, but there was still enough left to look pretty. And yeah, just had a nice walk, stretch the legs in the nice weather. Yeah, that was nice. And yeah, what else? Yeah, I've just been, obviously came back, still a little bit chaos, haven't fully unpacked my bag from being away the weekend and all that jazz. But like I say, we do have the bank holiday weekend coming up, so you'll be watching this on Friday. I'm filming it on Wednesday lunchtime during my lunch break at work. So yeah, we have Friday and Monday as public holidays, so don't have to work. And so yeah, got a long weekend to hopefully get in a lot of sewing. Like I say, the aim is to get the Eliza trench coat made. But you know, if I really do okay with that, maybe I can get something else done as well, or at least some more things cut out. And yeah, more so at the football on the Sunday, so on Easter Sunday. Yeah, we only have the football season, you may or may not know, only runs until May. So we have only got 2 more home games and only 1 more home game that's at our usual home stadium in Leighton in East London. The last home game we have is at the main stadium for the football club. But yeah, I will be off to Leighton on Sunday for the last home game of this season. Fingers crossed we can make it a good one. And yeah, I think that's everything that I have planned for the next little bit. All right, I'm gonna leave things here. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I have now gone over the 250 mark, which is exciting. So yeah, welcome to everyone who's recently joined the channel. If you did like this video, please do like, and if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing to help share my channel with all of the other sewing interested folks who watch stuff on YouTube. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have lots of sewing and chocolate if that's your thing for Easter. My boss gave me an Easter egg the other day, which was a lovely surprise, so I do have at least one. Usually what I like to do is go to the supermarket like the day after Easter, and then they've all reduced all of them that are left over, so you can get Easter egg chocolate but for cheaper. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do on Easter Monday. But yeah, thank you so much, and I will speak to you again very soon. Bye.